वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय.
So mindfulness is about awareness. It's about listening, tasting, touching, smelling, physical sensations, thoughts and feelings, being aware of all of that right in this moment.
Yakoti Samaprabha.
My name is Jimmy Tunstall, and I am a person in long-term recovery. I now work as a substance abuse counselor, and I work primarily with people in all stages of addiction and recovery. I'm also certified in dialectical behavior therapy, so I do a lot of work with people who have difficulty managing really difficult emotions, and a large part of that is mindfulness.
Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurumahinde.
I was introduced to mindfulness through refuge recovery, through some friends who kind of got me into the group setting of meditation. And when I first tried to meditate, it was, my thoughts were zooming. My mind would not be quiet. I didn't feel like I was good at it. And the more I explored it, the more I realized that mindfulness is about an awareness of thought. It's about being present with your thoughts. And it's also helped me to understand that my emotions are not my reality. If I feel pain, if I feel fear or anger, those aren't necessarily good or bad, you know. They just are. And with that kind of mindset, it's helped me to be able to know that it's temporary, to know that it's impermanent, to understand that everything changes, everything is in a state of transiency. And when I realize this, if I'm going through a difficult period, emotionally, bringing myself back to the present and having that awareness has helped me get through cravings for drugs. It's helped me get through relationship issues. It's helped me in the entire framework of my life.
Anxiety was getting to be a real problem, so I called a friend, someone that's in my network, my recovery network, my sponsor, and he recommended that I start meditating. Got a book, and there's about 5 or 6 meditation practices in this little book. It's like a little book like this. And I started practicing, and when I started, I could only sit for maybe 3 or 5 minutes. But what I noticed very, very quickly within 1 or 2 times of doing it was that my anxiety started to decrease, and the physical symptoms of the anxiety, I was having really bad pains in my forehead, and they were being diagnosed as tension, like migraine tension headaches, something like that. And that all started to go away really quickly. And so I was like, oh my God, this is, even if there's no other benefits at this point, I'm gonna keep doing it. So I did, and I kept working on a meditation practice, and I studied with several different workshops I went to, and weekend-long workshops, and I found a mentor here in town that guided me through some of the processes, and so the meditation really led me towards wanting to know more about mindfulness in everyday living. So, there's really a bit of a difference between mindfulness and meditation. Meditation is the formal practice that helps to cultivate mindfulness, but mindfulness can be practiced. Mindfulness is simply awareness. It's awareness of right here, right now. I am sitting in this chair, my legs are folded up under me, I can feel the contact of my body and the chair. I can hear the snow that's falling outside the window. Snow day, yay, that's why I'm able to do this today.
सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु महि देवा.
I got into recovery because alcohol and drugs were killing me. And Jimmy T began a refuge recovery meeting in Winston-Salem. And he's been a friend of mine in recovery since 2009, so a long time. And he has started meditating as well, like a while before I did. And I noticed a change in him. So anyway, he started this refuge recovery meeting in Winston-Salem, encouraged me to come. I tried it out and I was pretty much in love, because it's just a beautiful way to expand my recovery process, and to help me focus on myself, my mind, and make meditation a regular part of my healing process.
सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु महि देवा. सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा.
So after about a year of practicing meditation, I found this online course called Palouse Mindfulness. It's mindfulness-based stress reduction. And it was really fascinating. I took myself through that course over it's an 8-week course. I took my time with it and spent probably 13 weeks or so working through the material. But there's a lot of videos and worksheets. And it's all about bringing mindfulness practice into your everyday life. So basically, when you eat, eat. When you brush your teeth, brush your teeth. When you wash the dishes, wash the dishes. Living with some intention. And so I practiced that for those 13 weeks. And really what I learned from that was that I have the ability to pause, to slow down, to pay attention to what I'm doing. And to really enjoy each moment rather than being wrapped up in thoughts of the past or the future or worries or whatever's going on in my head. So it's been an amazing experience, and one that I hope to continue to develop, and one that I hope to continue to share with others. So we're talking about mindfulness, and we are talking about, this is the foundational component for all of the DBT modules. So we break us down into 2 sets of skills. And remember, these are all acceptance skills. So we're breaking it down into the what skills and the how skills. So the what skills are what we do. And what we do is we observe. We observe our thoughts, our feelings, our physical sensations. We observe what's going on around us. So we're observing the external and the internal. DBT was created by Dr. Marsha Linehan, PhD. Dr. Linehan spent a lot of time in Buddhist monasteries while she was creating DBT and brought the mindfulness component into the treatment. It's really interesting that an Eastern philosophy can have such a strong impact on a Western treatment. When we're working with clients, we tend to be very careful with clients who have schizoaffective disorder or delusions or paranoia, as sometimes mindfulness, particularly of thoughts or emotions, can be triggering. So when we're doing DBT work or mindfulness work with those clients, we tend to stay really focused on the body, sensations in the body, the feeling of the feet on the floor, or just focusing simply on their hands.
My name is Jennifer Cobb, and I am a licensed clinical social worker, certified in dialectical behavior therapy. So really focus on working with folks who have that kind of what I would call pervasive emotion dysregulation. So a lot of trouble, significant trouble regulating emotion or even experiencing emotion. And then most times trauma comes in there somewhere. So they've had usually a big history of trauma. I do teach mindfulness to my clients. And I find that for a lot of folks, it's challenging. And I think it's challenging for a lot of different reasons. I think it's challenging, one, because it seems like this complicated idea. And I think a lot of people try to make it harder than it is. And, again, for a lot of folks that I work with, they've spent a lot of years, with good reason, trying to disconnect from their body. So we usually start small, or I don't know if it's small. We usually start with, can you pay attention? Can you just notice your toe? Where is your toe in relation to the rest of your body? Can you just put your attention on your toe? I hear people all the time, I just can't get my head to be quiet. Mm-hmm. And so, okay, let's not worry about getting our head to be quiet. Let's put our attention and our effort somewhere else.
One of the things we do with clients in our DBT skills groups is to begin working on mindfulness of everyday activities. So an example might be a mindful bath or shower, or mindfulness while brushing the teeth. We use mindfulness of dishwashing because most people wash dishes. So to become very mindful and observe the sensations of the soap and the sponge, and what does it feel like to have the contact of your hands with the dishes. What's the smell of the soap? Can you feel your feet touching the floor right in this moment? Can you be aware of the sounds of the water, the sounds of the contact between the water and the dishes? And if our mind wanders, which it normally does, we simply bring it back to right here, right now. What's going on in this moment? For many people, mindfulness becomes a way of life, a lifestyle. Although a secular tradition, mindfulness can become a spiritual practice. In my case, it has. For a lot of people, it's simply the ability to pay attention to what's going on now, to not get caught up in the past or future, to be able to tolerate and and notice that there's a chicken right here, right now, a little chicken. So that's what's going on right in this moment. And I really appreciate everybody taking the time to watch this. And Aunt Alice says hello. And man, oh, and there's Fiona. It doesn't get much better than this.